All right, what's the one thing standing between you and your next level right now? Now, don't say it out loud, just hold it in your head. Maybe it's the promotion that hasn't come, the team that won't move, or the idea you keep bringing that nobody picks up. Maybe it's even the AI tool that's supposed to help you, but just keeps handing you noise. Whatever it is, hold it for just a second and let me tell you what I've found after years of doing this work. If you look underneath the thing you just named in your head, you almost always find the same problem wearing different clothes. You find a moment where communication broke down. The meeting where you had the right idea but couldn't get it across, the AI tool that should have helped but gave you generic slop. So here's a claim I want to build with you today. Communication is the constraint behind every other constraint, meaning whatever's holding you back, the constraint behind that constraint is almost always communication. And it starts closer to home than people expect. It starts with how clear you are long before your message ever reaches a room, a screen, or a team. And if you fix that, your own clarity, then the thing that was being held back, it starts to move. But most people, when they think about communication, they think about communication being just talking, picking better words, sounding more polished, things like that. And that is part of it, that's for sure. But it's only a sliver because communication is bigger than just talking. You see, communication happens in three places: your voice, your AI, and your process. Voice is communication in the room. AI is communication amplified beyond the room in this wonderful digital age. And process is communication that keeps working when you're not in the room. And here's something that I want to say right up front. People come into my world for coaching through different doors. Some come to me for their voice. Some come because of how they're using AI, or rather, how they want to be using AI. And some come for process, the way their team and their work actually moves. Every one of those is a real door. None of them is the wrong one because all three rooms are doing the same thing. They're amplifying a signal, and the signal is you, your identity, your truth, what you do, the outcomes you're after. That's the thing that gets poured into your voice, into your AI, and into your process. And whatever door you come through to work with me, the work always starts in the same place, not with the room you came in, but with the signal, the clear you, voice, AI, and process. Three rooms, three doors, but one signal, the clear you. Now, that's what I mean when I say a complete communicator. A complete communicator isn't just someone who speaks well. A complete communicator is someone whose signal is clear so that whichever room they're in, the right thing gets amplified. They're clear in the room, they're clear beyond the room, and when they're not in the room, their process delivers that clarity. So let's walk through the three rooms. I'll start here today with the first one on the list, which is voice. But hold on to this. If your door was AI or process, our work together would start there instead, and we're still doing the very same work. We're clarifying the signal, the clear you. So starting with voice. Voice is the most personal room. Your voice is the part of you that other people experience in real time. They feel you before they've finished hearing your words. They feel your steadiness, your hesitation, your confidence, your fear, your clarity, your confusion. They may not have language for what they feel, but they feel you. That's why for most people, this is the fastest place to find the signal, because your voice is you in real time, the breath, your pitch, pace, tone, melody, and volume, your prosody, which is the music underneath the words. All of that matters because your voice is not just the words you say. Your voice is the sounds you make that carry your signal. It tells the room who showed up, and most of you have felt the difference. Someone says the exact right words and nothing in the room moves. Someone else says something ordinary and everybody leans in. The words weren't the difference. The difference was whether the voice was carrying a real person, a clear person who was sharing their true self with their listeners. And there's a deeper reason I love working with people and their voice as well. And it's this: because voice is the channel that shifts your identity. You see, when your voice changes, who you believe yourself to be changes with it. And that shift doesn't stay just in your voice. It walks out of the room with you and changes how you enter meetings and how you answer questions and how you carry pressure. It even changes how you talk to yourself. And that last one really, really matters because the clearest signal in the world starts with the voice you use on the inside. That is how you talk to yourself. That's your most powerful voice. If you get that clear and that you reaches every room, then every room that you walk into, you give that clear vision to. That's voice, communication in the room. Now let's look at AI next. I often call this the second room. And whether you've made peace with that yet or not, AI is now one of the places that communication happens in the digital age. Now, for a lot of you, this is the door you came through. So let me say one thing you most need to know about AI right up front. You're smarter than AI. That's right. AI doesn't create. Creativity is a human attribute, not an attribute of a machine. AI doesn't create. What it does do is it amplifies. And it amplifies whatever you bring to it. So be smarter than AI. You already are. Communicate with it clearly, and it will do things for you it does for almost no one else. Communicate with it badly, and it just will amplify your confusion. If you bring your AI vague thinking, it gives you polished vagueness. If you bring it an unclear signal, it gives you a generic output. If you bring in no point of view, it gives you the average of everything in the world. That's how you get slop. And AI slop isn't an AI problem. It's a human signal problem with the volume turned all the way up. Because the tool amplifies whatever signal you pour into it. Same as your voice. So picture the difference. You type some vague, half-formed request into an AI that knows nothing about you, and it gives you generic slop. No surprise. The average of everything in nobody's voice. Or you feed it a clear signal. You've taught it who you are, what you do, what you value, the outcomes you need. And now it's a true thinking partner because it's working from you, not from the average of the internet. It's the same tool, but a completely different result. And the difference is in the clarity of the signal going in. Now, yeah, there's new craft to learn here with AI. AI has its own skills: training, context, prompting, clones, agents, workflows. And most people feel the gap, that quiet sense that everybody else got a manual that they never got. But I would say to you, don't let that worry you. Instead, let that be exciting for you. Because the hard part, the part most people never get right, is the part this whole talk is about. A clear signal, a clear you. The new AI skills are learnable. You'll learn them. People come to me to learn them. But what you can't fake is the clear person feeding the machine, which is what people really come to me for when they come to me for help with AI. So imagine what opens up when the AI you work with stops drawing on the average of the internet and starts drawing on you, your stories, your thinking, your values, your work, your way of seeing the world, a living library with your name on the spine. That's a powerful thought. When you're working with an AI thinking partner that's read every page of you, it stops sounding like everyone else. It stops responding with slop, and instead, it starts sounding like you on your very best day, every day. That's not just a tool you use. That's you multiplied. And that's AI. Communication amplified beyond the room. All right, let's look at the third room now, which is process. For many of you, especially in a company, this is your door, process. And what's interesting about process as we get started here is to recognize that this is the room most people don't even think to call communication, which is exactly why it's so powerful. You see, process is communication made operational. It's communication that keeps working after your voice leaves the room. A good process running well tells people what matters, what happens next, who owns what done means. And when the process is good and it's running well, people are communicating without even realizing that they're communicating. The right things happen at the right time. The handoffs work. Nobody drops the ball and the team moves. And that's not luck. That's a clear signal built into the system through the process. Now, I coach IT leaders at some of the largest companies in the world. And when you strip all the things away that I teach them and coach them on, what I'm really doing is teaching most of the time process. Because in a big organization, you rarely have authority over all the people you depend on most. That's just the matrix reality that most of us work in now. You depend on people who don't report to you, across teams you don't run, across systems you don't own. And process is how your signal moves work across all those lines efficiently. It's invisible, but it carries you every hour of every day, whether you're in the room or not. Process carries your voice. That's process, communication that keeps working when you're not there. Now, here's the thing I most want you to walk out with. Voice, AI, and process are not three unrelated subjects. They're three rooms that all do the same thing. They amplify a signal. Your voice amplifies your signal. Your AI amplifies your signal. Your process amplifies your signal. And if your signal is unclear, all three faithfully amplify that unclear thing. But if the signal is clear, all three carry that clear thing. Your voice lands in the room. Your AI sharpens your thinking beyond the room, and your process carries you when you're not in the room. That's the complete communicator. Not someone who mastered three separate things. Someone who got one signal clear and learned to carry it into three different rooms. The skills change from room to room. Your voice has its skills: breath, pitch, pace, tone, melody, volume, prosody. Your AI has its skills: training, context, prompting, clones, agents. And your process has its skills: systems thinking, handoffs, rhythms, roles, automated telemetry. Three different skill sets, but all one signal underneath: the clear you. And whatever door you came through, that's where the work with me always begins. Not with the room, but with the signal. For many people, the voice is the one where they can feel their struggle most directly. So that's where they would start. For others, if you came through AI or through process, we start there. And we're still doing the very same work, getting you clear. So picture the person who's done this work. Their voice lands in a room. People feel them before they fully understand why. Their AI use makes their thinking clearer instead of noisier. And their process makes everyone around them better without anyone having to think so hard about why. For them, work moves, message travels, the room trusts them. And for people like that, what happens to them? They don't have to campaign so hard for the next opportunity. They don't have to keep proving they belong. They just become easier to trust, easier to follow, easier to include in important rooms. And why is that? Because when your voice, your AI, and your process all carry the same clear signal from you, you become the person who influences the room. And that gets noticed. Noticed in real tangible things like the raise, the promotion, the next opportunity, and being asked into the larger room. Not because you gained anything, but because communication was the constraint the whole time and you stopped being it. That's what I'm handing you here today. The bigger map of becoming a complete communicator. Now, one last thing, so you don't misread the goal. A complete communicator is not a badge you pin on once you say that you're done. It's not a title you award yourself. And it's not something you finish becoming. It's a direction that you never stop walking. Because if you're growth minded, which all of you are, you're a continuous learner. You're always becoming. So, complete communicator is the direction, it's the practice, it's the loop. You become more complete every time you clarify the signal in the voice a little bit more. Every time you feed it cleanly to your AI a little bit more. Every time you let a process carry it for you a little bit more. That's the loop. Voice, AI, process. Back to the signal, back to the clear you underneath it all. You see, you're not fixing something broken. You're becoming someone fuller, deeper, more complete in what you know, and more aware of how much more there is to learn. The complete communicator is not the person who has arrived. The complete communicator is the person whose signal keeps getting clearer in the room, beyond the room, and when they're not in the room. All right, so now I've taken everything I just walked you through here today and put it into a little PDF, a new piece for our collection, which I called What I Mean When I Say Complete Communicator. It's the whole model, voice, AI, and process, and the clear you underneath all three. Now, as you know, we're recording this here and I'm going to share it. So if you're watching this back later and you'd like that document, that PDF, here's how to get it. Go to prvocalcoaching.com, click contact at the top, and you'll land on a page that says, let's talk. Drop complete communicator in the message, and I'll send it right to you. That's it. No pressure. Just the next step if this resonates with you. And everybody in the room with me right now, that invitation doesn't matter for you. So don't go and do those steps because I'm going to send you that same PDF right after we finish up here today. It's already yours. One of the perks for showing up today. All right, so that's what I wanted to put in front of us. Communication is the constraint behind every other constraint. Voice is communication in the room. AI is communication amplified beyond the room. And process is communication that keeps working when you're not in the room. 3 rooms, 3 doors, 1 signal, the clear you. That's it for today. See you next time. Bye for now.